All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar. Today, we are doing the Make Product Update webinar where we will be covering version 51.4, 5, and 6. I'm Rosalie, so I lead the customer success here at Client. And as always, I am joined by Yannick, our CEO. Hi, Yannick. I see you're wearing some cool shirt.
Go Habs go, Rosalie, go Habs go. It's not going according to plan, but for our international customer, the Montreal Canadiens are in the playoff and they're losing 3-1 to the Hurricanes. But we have a next game coming on, so we support them. And now because we have those new cool pin, I can wear anything I want and still be branded. So exciting times.
Fingers crossed for tomorrow's game. All right. So Yannick will be doing our product and demos. And as always, we have Natalie that's in the chat that will be answering your questions. And you may have seen on the LinkedIn as well. Last month was a big month for us, Yannick, with the agents. We were at Agent Force New York, Agent Force Toronto. So very busy time for client.
Yes, exactly. And tell me again if you have problem with my sound, but yeah, we've been busy traveling with those world tour. It was nice to see some customer in every of those countries we've visited. Next one is London, so exciting times coming in June, 18th of June.
Yeah, for all our UK customers. All right. So, quick reminder before we start, webinar is meant to be interactive. So, use the chat, use the comments, the emojis. You can use the Q&A as well. We want to know what you think. We're actually going to start with a quick poll. As always, I'm just going to launch it and then talk a little bit about the agenda. But we just want to know if we have first timers for today's webinar or if you guys are there every month, which is great. Welcome back or welcome. Oh, we have
That's
some
the
new.
question.
Hi. All right. Okay, so today we're back to our usual release webinar format, covering everything that was shipped across 51.4 through 51.6. So since the April webinar was really agent focused, we haven't walked through a couple of these, so that's what we'll do today. 51.6 is our current version, and it was released on May 11th, so that's already a couple of weeks ago. So instead of going release by release, what we'll do, we'll just group it by feature. So we'll start with the Snap. We'll also talk about small improvements in the workspace, invoice, resource planner. We'll show Public Project Workspace, Jira Time Tracker, and Jira Sync demos. First time we're demoing those two features. Then we'll finish with some updates on agents and Feature Hub, and then product roadmap, upcoming release, etc. So let's jump in with our very first updates. All right, the Snap, perfect. So Snap's been a product since January is when we released it. A lot of customers are already using it, which is great. We know adoption is still growing. So while we're going to cover some of the new things, we're also going to use the occasion just to showcase the Snap workspace as a whole, because I know a lot of people ask a lot of questions about it. So yeah, Yannick, do you want to walk us through the Snap and what's new there?
Yeah, this is great. This when we made those improvement because customer asked for it, because people are starting to use it, and even people are starting to really stretch the envelope and using very big project and automating all of it. So very excited about this, and this give us as well where we're going with this product. So we're gonna make it evolve. So I'm gonna show you a few things. So first, you can see my list is growing here of Snap that I have. I have this one. Let me just refresh my page. This one that Acme that we want to look into. I don't know if you knew, but you can click those and it's gonna open up that Snap record, so you can access it directly from here as well. And you can send it's drop and you can have access to the records if you wanted to, but you can drop the workspace here. We can see that from here I can collapse my tables, and what I like to do sometimes is to put myself in full screen so I can really consume that Snap properly, that report properly. This is nothing new. This is the Snap, but what we have added a few filters. So if I click filters here, you're going to be able to sort and filter based on new practice region, resource practice, and resource region. So let's say I just want to have my North America team. So and I'm just going to collapse my filter. You can see that the graph have changed. And if I go back into my filters and let's say I just want to see my dev team, I'm gonna remove this one, this filter here. You can see that the graph is updating at the bottom based on the different filter that I have for my practice, my region, and my other filters. So as you grow, if you're starting to use those filter, you're gonna be able to classify your data a lot better.
Perfect.
Good. So that's the first portion of it. Second portion of improvement we did, it's on the resource heat map. So I don't know if you, so looking at that graph, and let me clear my filters. So looking at that graph, we can see that we've started great. We've overconsumed a little bit, but we're still tracking the curve. But at some point, we just stopped around November. We just stopped while we were still scheduled to do more. So this is not good, right? And you can see those variation in different level. You can see we were going the red starting at around January in terms of catching up. This is the inflection point of the or where the two line cross. But you can also see that information through our different lenses. And one of them is the schedule variance of that heat map based on either your resource here, or you can group by role if you wanted to. But what we've improved here is that, for example, logged hours, you can see that we can still see the gray zone because you were scheduled 2.9, you logged 0, so you didn't log, but some because of the way that the calculation was made, those were disappearing totally. We were not seeing them, so now we've put some emphasis because there is some calculation, there is some logic and intelligence in terms of how we're representing the data. So we've just increased that logic. So if you haven't used the heat map, please start using it. I like using the heat map in different ways. Quite often, what I'll do is on the schedule variance, I would group it by week, for example, so I have less granularity and a bigger overview of my project. And then I can even group it monthly, so I can see, okay, the first few months that we're in the green, but it's really Ben at the end that is really dropping it. So the variance is for 114 hours. So that heat map is very useful for this. Good. So that's about it for the Snap. The other improvement, they're more on the back end of the Snap Workspace. So those project that or those Snap here created, you can create them on a schedule. So for example, if you want to have a Snap every week or every day even, you can create those in a schedule because one thing we have already, but we're gonna continue to improve. So if I'm drawing that graph, I can compare against my other version and compare against my baseline. So and because of that, I want to keep older version so I can compare my scheduling in the past with my current scheduling, what was sold. So it's really it's a snapshot of your project. So you want to keep version of those. You want to baseline some of those. The automation can create those and can delete some of it too. And we were talking about the improvement. This is where we're going to add to the platform to help you with the incremental snap, so you don't have to snap the entire project all the time. So those will
Yeah.
be add-on as you guys use it more and more. You will see that you will need those scheduling jobs, so you don't have to create them manually every time.
Perfect. And I know the scheduling portion is something, it's like the first question customers ask when they start using Snap is like, how can I automate this? Now you can. And yeah, as always for the Snap Workspace specifically, that's one of our top feature that we're working on, Yannick, if I may. So if you have feedback, it's really important that you share it with us so we can incorporate this. All these little things were based on feedback from customers. So
Yeah.
please try it and share your feedback.
Yeah, and we're really stressing it. We're doing stress tests with it now with really big volume. So we should. It's been a bit rocky in that level, but fixing everything for a small project that doesn't spread multi years and have like hundred of tax, hundred on resource. You're fine already, but this is going to be fixed in the next release. And after that, we're going to just improve. We know that the resource portion is a bit lacking. The project portion is better. So there's a lot of place we can give you more feature. But yes, feedback, please, so we know where we should aim next. And we're going to be looking at the idea exchange also.
Yeah, perfect. I see Natalie shared in the chat the link for if you want more information about the Snap Workspace, it's right there and I'll send it after anyways. So in terms of other improvements in other interfaces that came from 51.4 and onwards, we wanted to highlight a few things. So we'll kind of demo one by one. They apply to different teams. So let's just dive into it, Yannick, and show the zero duration milestone one.
Yep. Okay. So this is more kind of it's a battle of philosophy in terms of where you stand. In my mind and in the design mind, a milestone, it's intemporal. It doesn't exist in time. It's like a moment, it's punctual, and there's no date to it, meaning that the duration should be zero. But in the past, in for our existing customer, the duration is one, meaning that, for example, if I had a milestone, a signature milestone today, the start date because of my dependency line would be tomorrow because it would take into account that of a duration of one day. In this specific case, you can see my signature milestone is on the 28th of May, and that dependency is bringing that kickoff on the 28th of May as well. There's no one day duration. So this is what we changed to make sure that we didn't break anything and it's backward compatible for existing customer. The setting remains, meaning that duration is one. If you want to switch it, it's in the client configuration, custom settings. It's a milestone duration. You just need to check it, and then you're gonna be enabling that zero day milestone.
Yeah,
So
so if you're using dependencies and milestones, make sure you read that release notes carefully and make a decision.
yeah, if you don't do anything, it's gonna stay the same. If it's
Yeah,
been a problem in the past, and if you always debated in terms of it should be zero or one, then you have that the option. Any new customer will be to zero by default. Existing customer remain at one by default.
perfect. And
Okay,
yeah,
real-time assignment then. Mentioned that well, now it was easier to work with that assignment grid.
yeah.
What we've added as well is more of those refresh and making sure that everything is following through and it's the user always know what's happening. So, for example, if I want to add some hours in that opportunity or that security task here, and I want to add Jenny Red, I can just tell them how many hours I want to assign, allocate to GeneraD, and then it's going to create, and you can see that on the left side, it updated automatically. So it's all those kind of refresh in the background that is now happening. So you don't have to refresh your screen for
Harass
all
yourself
the
if you do
relevant
it
information.
wrong.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yay.
The next one is on the resource plan. So if I'm opening up this specific project resource plan, and it works on both the global resource planner, but also that project resource planner. And I left those color codes so we can really see the difference. So those big 8 hours block, those are vacations, those are PTO. So if I expand Jenny, I'm gonna see those are time off hours. And they do add up into the month's calculation. So you can see, for example, that Jenny Red, she has 8 hours of PTO plus 12 for 20 hours, which is 11% of her workload. Now we have an option to hide PTO, and then the recalculation is made as well. And you can save those into your presets. So this way you can hide easily your PTOs.
That one, a lot of customers are really happy that we rolled this out. So you're
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm sure. And again, for practice and region, as you grow and as you want to segment your project a bit more, you need those segmentation in terms of region practice. So on the invoice side of thing, if I'm going to my generate invoice, we've added again those region and those practices. It's a lookup object. It's a record that you need to create a region and a practice. So here it's just listing you those. So when you search, it's gonna search just for those practices and those regions.
So any organization that's generating tons of invoices, you're welcome again.
Yeah, exactly. So it's again, it's to simplify the life when you're executing. So if I just want to see the Africa and the North American, then I can just only have one project associated to that region, and that's it.
All right.
Good.
Beyond the little demo we did, there was also a bunch of fixes, smaller improvement that were maybe not worth doing a demo about it, but be sure to read through them if you were waiting for some of these fixes. That was a big focus for the last few weeks on the dev team. So yeah, we won't walk through those, but all right. Moving on to the next interface, the Public Project Workspace. This is one of my personal favorite of the moment. We wanted to take the occasion today to revisit it because still some customers don't know about it. Just before getting into it, let's just do a quick poll because we're curious to know how you're currently sharing project visibility with your stakeholders today. So you can select more than one answers. We're just curious as we're jumping into that if you're already using the Project Workspace or maybe something else or nothing at all. And then essentially what we want to do today is just recap what the Public Project Workspace does and then tell you what's new and improved in maybe I should launch the poll. That would be helpful. All right.
Yeah.
And then we can tell you what's new. Yannick, I think you're already sharing your screen, so maybe you want to jump
Yep.
in.
So
Yeah,
while you guys answer, I'll show you the technical aspect, and then we're gonna see the end result. So the goal is to be able to share with your customer the workspace, the project workspace, meaning a Gantt or maybe just a grid or maybe just the timeline to your customer in a read-only mode. Also, having the capacity to change the format of what you're showing depending on the type of project. So that's the goal of that. And you don't need to buy anything for this to work. You just need to set. There's one license required, but you just need to set up a site, and then you don't need to buy customer community. It's just part of that standard package. And what happened when you have this? You get two fields mainly that you work with your system. So you can see here that I have my public project workspace link. So this is how I'm going to access it. And you can see that that public project is using a preset, and I have my preset set up here webinar. So this is how you control what you show on that read-only public project workspace. And as soon as I click on it, it's going to get me to that specific preset I've defined. And this is a read-only thing. I can still adjust my column for visibility. I can unwrap if I want to, and I can wrap again. But that's mainly it. I can download. There's a few filters or toggles, but and you can change the theme. But it's a pure read-only. There's nothing that can be edited in this interface.
perfect.
So what has been improved here, it's something in the back end, so URL security, but also the description field and the wrapping, that behavior that I've just shown is has been improved.
Perfect. And if I can add, so this was released in 50.9, so that was like before Christmas. But still, a lot of people don't know. And I'm looking at the poll results, and a lot of people are still building reports outside of clients. So please give this a try or project status report a try, a combination of both as well. Also, if you're used to taking screenshots of the workspace Gantt, which a few people said they are doing that, please try this public project workspace. I'm sure the end result will be better. If it's not, let us know. I would be very surprised, but please let us know. And the last thing, I don't know if you mentioned it, Yannick, but it's pretty cool. You can, if you're using the project status report, you can also add the public project workspace link as a field to your project status report, which is a nice way to kind of combine both. So, all
Yeah,
right.
a live version. This is a live version, while the status is on a stamp or on a
Yep.
snapshot again. So you can combine both. And then if you really want to push the envelope, then you need the customer community, which what we're seeing is becoming kind of the norm. So everybody should be collaborating with their customer on the community. But that's the other level.
Perfect. All right. Now we're diving into the Jira world, and
Yeah.
we are getting started. It's not the first time we talk about the Jira Sync and time tracker, but it is the first time we are demoing it. So I just launched a quick poll. We want to know if you're using Jira in your organization or not. I did this webinar back in December, and it was about a 30%, 70% for 30% using Jira. So I'm just curious to see where we land today. If we have the same audience, it's different people. I
Yeah.
think we're probably gonna land around the same. We're at yeah, 40%
So
Jira-ish.
we have a cool new feature around Jira that are available for purchase. We have customers that are live with it and that are using it daily. I'm happy that we have that connector. This being said, if you don't have Jira now, don't start, don't get it. You can do everything in client and even better. This being said, some customers have been using Jira and it's embedded into their culture and there's no way of getting it out. So now you have the possibility to link both together so you can get that all the value that a PSA provide, meaning all aspect of schedule versus actuals and be able to have proper reporting and measuring your workbench and your workload while your dev team can still work in the environment that they are used to. So this is both of both worlds. So it's starting for the Jira thing, it's per org pricing. And for the time tracker, which is an app in Jira, it's per user per month. If you want more information, Rosalie and Raoul will be in contact with you. Don't hesitate. They're going to soon be released on the AppExchange as well and on the marketplace. This being said, if you want to start using them now, you can. They are available right now. Okay, the demo part of it. Let me get into the proper environment. Here. Fresh. Okay, so what when you will install that Jira Sync package, this is another package to install. You're gonna get a new app that's called Jira Sync, and in there you're gonna be able to do a lot of things. And the use case usually is that you have projects that are being run in Jira, and you want to bring them and keep them in sync in Salesforce in Client. So this is what that Jira Sync is doing. So for example, I can search across my entire Jira database to see all the different projects that I have, and I could sync them directly. In my case, I'm gonna just look for the one that have been created today. So I have that new Acme cool project that hasn't been synced yet. So if I'm pressing the summary button, I'm gonna see some technical aspect on the Jira side, but for you guys to understand, so those are the Jira field, either standard or custom field, and then you have mapped field, so you can map them to task field in Client, so project and task field. So you're gonna be able to map those and do account code mapping to map those to sync those. So this is one thing. And then what you can do is, in our case, we want to sync the project. So we want to start syncing the task within that project. So right away, it's being synced already. You can see that it's created here at the bottom, and I can view it. And you can see that I can auto sync, meaning that I can keep that project in sync and it can always refresh. And this is based on scheduled job. So the scheduled job, you can make it run. For now, it's a fixed 15 minutes, but it might be parameterable at some point. You can always run now, and you can unschedule the future run if you want to unschedule the future run. So you can run that on the schedule, so everything get synced all the time. Yeah. So if I'm taking a look at that project that got created, that Acme Cool project, there's a few things to notice if I did everything correctly, which it seemed it didn't.
Oh.
Okay, let me revert back to my other project then. So what it does, it's creating task assignment based on the different tasks in the project and based on the assignment of those tasks. So it's going to create those task assignment, and it will also create the task. So the task and the one that I was looking for is this one here. What is the fuss about Jira? So this task has been brought from that Jira project and created here in Client. Okay, so the first thing to notice is that kind of curious. Let me just refresh to make sure. On my test run, it was working fabulously. Okay, so what is important to notice is that on the client side, now what you're gonna have some Jira section where you're gonna get the project ID, the key, and also a link to your project with some syncing message, meaning that what has been synced and when it got synced. So that's one thing. The other aspect is on the task itself. So if I'm opening up my task, I'm gonna have some section in the Jira section here. Again, that's linking and that's telling us that statuses. And it kind of work both ways as well. You can create from Client, you can create in Jira. Now it did the opposite. And now I'm back into that board and I see that this is the Jira side of things. So this is a Jira card. And here in that Jira card, we have that second product that we're promoting today. It's the time tracker. So you can see on the Jira issue, now I can have that log time button. And what it does, it's connecting to client with all the different permission that's already set in client. So very trusted and very secure. And it's already linked in this case to my project and my task. So my teammate can already come in here and log some hours on its task. So it respect all the different criteria that are set in client while we are in Jira right now. And at the end of the week, or if you want to see his recap, we even have a kind of a replica of our mobile timesheet where you can see all your submitted time. And at the end of the week, you can just go ahead and submit. Meaning that for dev that are purely just on the Jira side, you can use this to track time. If they need to do the other things, they want to see project and see task and create project and task, then they will need a client PSA license. But this is the Jira time tracker. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool. Again, if you are interested, I know some customers I've already mentioned they were interested on calls I had with them. So be sure to rewatch this demo afterwards and/or reach out to myself or the support team for next steps, or if you have some questions on this.
If I continue, I'm still in the board, a Jira board. So let me just create a new task and I'm gonna assign it to myself. And then this task has been created in Jira. And if I'm coming back into client, and let me just go back to my project, my implementation project. And if I press, it would sync automatically, right? After 15 minutes, it would sync. In my project itself, we have a new button, the Jira Sync. So you can press that button to sync all tasks, or I can even just sync a specific task. So you can see this one, this is another task, the one I just created. I can just sync it. It would have done it automatically if my setting was on. And now, just like that, my task has been created, and with my task assignment as well linked to it, meaning that everything is all included together, all linked, and then you can really start tracking your cost rate. You can start tracking your performance. You can start to validate your schedule against what's really delivered. So it's really bringing another value level of visibility on top of Jira. So yeah, I think the combination of both is great.
Yay. All
Hey.
right.
You see if I've looked at everything.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Natalie shared we have documentation on both these features. So the time tracker and the Jira Sync, full documentation, like what it is, how it works, how to set it up, all available. So we just dropped the link here. Perfect. And I see our questions had been answered. So all good there. All right. Okay, for our next, I think we have something just before the feature.
No, the feature hub, it's after the
Oh,
after
okay.
plan.
All right, so next section. So agents update. So on the agent side, we talk about it every webinar, but probably the biggest update is that Planny One is now officially live on the AppExchange
Yeah, exciting.
today.
As
So
last night, but yes.
last night, this morning, we got notified. You told everybody. So Yannick is showing it on the screen. So this is just some images, but I think we can show a bit of the documentation. And essentially, yeah, so this is the App Exchange. You can see a little bit of information. We did include most of the information we have on our website as well. So you can just download it after today's webinar. We'll drop the link to the app. Well, it's already there. I see Nat put it. You just get it now and you can have a free trial. Test it out, play with it. Here we highlight what action it does. So you can get your morning brief, telling you which task you should tackle first, your night recap, so what changed during the day. These are scheduled, so they happen automatically. Then you also have the on-demand recap you can do, so ask follow-up questions, who's the owner of this, log time, blockers, etc. Priority list, so tell me what I should pay attention to. And then week ahead summary, what's coming up in the next week. And the coolest part, which is really what we want to mention, beyond surfacing the information, Planny is also able to take actions directly in Client when authorized. So it can update task status, push a due date, create a new task. So if it flagged a couple of tasks for you and you're like, I already did these, you just tell Planny, please mark these as complete, and Planny will do it. So saving you some time, hopefully. Yannick, what else do you want to tell us about Planny and what it can do?
It's exciting because it's really the first agent that are is following our new model, and that is really aligned with making like being very good at something specific.
Mhm.
So this is version 0.5 of Planny. We're still in beta, meaning that we're expecting a few more release of it, and then it's going to be stable at version 1. But you can absolutely start using it now, and you can have an impact on it now. So yeah, it's the first one, and you can maybe notice that we're changing because it's we're doing a new iteration. If you've been on our community, you might have seen that the screenshots are still missing. So now we're not reinvesting, but getting back into generating those screenshots and the branding too. So this will be the new face of our Planny one. So excited about the new branding also.
All right. And just as an FYI, you have to be on version 51.4 and above to use this. So just little disclaimer here. And as you can see, this agent, all our agents are $1,000 one time. You pay one time, you have it forever. And then, of course, you also need Salesforce Flex credits. But these are the kind of details that are all included in our documentation when you start digging through it. Have a lot of, even if we don't have the screenshots yet as well, you still have like a clear example of what kind of questions you ask and output you get. So have
Yeah.
a look there. And then as for other agents, Touchy, our Touchpoint agent that I'm very a fan of, was officially submitted to the AppExchange last week. So on the next webinar in June, we should be able to demo it to you as well. So stay tuned for that. I know that agent is also applicable to a lot of our customers. And
And I
to
don't know if you picked it up, but at some point I scroll and there was a timey widget on
Yeah,
the
I
right.
didn't want to mention it. I didn't know how officially it was. That's a next one. I know Touchy will have for sure on the next webinar. Timey is the timesheet
Yeah,
agent
but
that
it's
helps you
following
build
closely.
timesheet.
It's following closely, and then Staffy is the other one after, plus our MCP, and then Guidey, which is the onboarding agent. So yeah,
Yeah, and
cool
we did
stuff.
have a question in the chat about whether Planny will be able to schedule time on tasks. I think that would likely be something more Staffy would do in later
Yeah,
versions, but for
yeah,
now,
exactly.
yeah.
So,
All right.
Planny, you can see it as he's going to report on how many hours has been logged and if they're going over budget, while Staffy is going to know have the knowledge of somebody there, a resource manager, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Let me just launch a quick poll because we covered a couple of different, very different functionalities. So we just want to know from today which features or updates you're most excited about. So Snap, Public Workspace, Jira, Planny, other agents, other fixes and improvement. If you're really waiting for that PDO toggle, hiring toggle, let us know. And we want to know as well, always curious to know if you already upgraded or not. I know a bunch of customers did in the last week, but always good to validate. And then if there is nothing else, yeah, let's move on to the feature hub. All right, so feature hub, customer community, however you want to call it. Just quick updates outside of product release. So first, on the on that side, the old community has officially been discontinued. So after today, if you try to get to the old link, it will redirect you to the new community. So yay, so it's officially live. We demoed the community on the last few webinars, so we won't do that again today, but you can see we will just show you what's new. So over the past month, we've added a couple of things. So we have now a home page. This is what Yannick is showing now. That includes a couple of cool things. So it's telling you which version is the current version. It's telling you how many updates you're missing out on. So I think this means you're kind of on the right on the right version. It's also telling you if you have an onboarding project, it's going to show you the tasks that are coming in there. Also some data. This is our test account. So the data is empty, but assume when you log in, you'll see proper data. There
I'm
you go.
sorry,
Okay.
I had to refresh. Sorry.
Perfect. So you see a couple of stats like how many days ago you upgraded, when was your last upgrade, which version you're on. So winter 2024 That's a bit older, I guess.
Yeah, so this is a test data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally it should be about
Nobody.
here. And then at the bottom, you have, I don't know if you have the badges. Yeah, a couple of badges will tell you more about this in the coming weeks. We also have a new little section for referrals. So, know a consulting firm that could use client, wink, wink.
Yes,
We
please,
have a whole
please tell us.
we have a whole page about this, and we really want to encourage you to give us referral and also reward you and thank you if you do. So have a look at that page if you have some referral in mind. You can just fill in the form and then that's it. We'll get back to you. So thank you in advance. And then you have direct link to all those different sections of the community, the ideas, etc., etc. And then if we click on chat with, I don't know, chat with Clara, that will bring you to the support tab. We made a couple of improvements to the support tab. So now Clara has been there for a while, but if you go to the support tab at the top, this is our recommended way. So chat with Clara first, and then if she can't help you, she'll create a case for you. So this is now officially live and working. And Natalie, the rest of the team is not going anywhere. So there's still humans behind answering you, but do give it a try with Clara first. Anything you want to add on that, Yannick, that I missed?
Just to reach your home page, you click on client. You didn't want to talk about it today, but we're going to be launching our onboarding project shortly with every one of our customers. So this is another exciting portion. This home page, we're still improving your versioning and what's new. Please be patient with that small block here. There's a lot happening behind, so we can make this relevant to you guys. But yeah, a lot of improvement in here. We are covering other portion, correct, Rosalie, from the community.
We already covered them last time. I mean, you can talk about it again if
Yeah,
you want.
maybe the only thing I want to show is on the documentation we just saw today. So about the Planny documentation. So you have the feature spotlight, the quick start, the full reference, the admin guide, the release note, and some FAQ. And please, use our comments function if you need more information. If something is unclear, you can just navigate. And if you want to know, let's say, more information about something here or the formula is not described, just leave a comment. And then our AI agents are looking at those and are improving the documentation all the time. So this is the best way to ask for more information about documentation is to use our comment mode. And if you're looking at a feature, you have that a Planny agent, and if you click on Jira, you have those two as well available.
Perfect. All right. Our next section was going to be the product roadmap. If we go back to the slide. All right. On the roadmap side, a couple of bigger items that are coming on 51.7. So just so you know, 51.7 should land in about a month, end of June. So when we do the webinar, it's going to be a little bit of a teaser of what's coming the next week. So one highly requested feature was for skills support inside project template. A lot of people were waiting for this. This is coming for sure. We're also continuing to improve My Deadlines, which was released in autumn a couple of months ago. So just making it more usable. We're also adding group by resources capabilities in the workspace. That should be a really cool one to demo on the next webinars. Yannick, I don't know if there's anything else you want to share on that one, or we keep it very secret and mysterious for today.
No, I think a picture is
Yeah.
a thousand word. So let's wait for the next time. Anyway, I'm not able to talk anymore. So that's it. There was a game
All right.
last night, if you recall.
You're still recovering. We're also extending the undo and redo capability in the workspace to add the assignment, to take into consideration assignments, and then the copy paste capability to also do it for assignees and checklists, which it's not supporting right now. So if you're using those two and you were really excited, it's going to be even nicer to use moving forward after 51.7. And then on the agent side, Yannick already mentioned TouchSheet, Timey are coming. And then I'm not sure if Natalie shared it already, but we have our full agent catalog. There it is. If you want to see the full suites, that's coming.
And
All right.
Clara is getting a big revamp too. There's new technology on Agent Force that we're gonna benefit from, and the new agents as well. But we are revamping, so now we have our agent building and training our agent. pace of development and innovation is going to go even faster. This is exciting.
Yeah, so this is even more important for you to share your feedback because like our capabilities have just like increased a lot as well in terms of what we can develop, what we can deliver in the product. So please, again, I feel like I repeat myself, but do share feedback on anything client related. All right. One final invite before everyone drops off. Just to let you know, next week, June 4th, same time, 11 a.m. EST, we're hosting a special webinar. Raul, actually, from our team, is hosting the webinar featuring our customers and partner 28 North, so Caitlin and Ryan. It's going to be very practical. They're going to talk about what their operations looked like before using Client, how they evaluate their different options. It's a bit salesy, but also it's very useful. I don't know if you joined the last webinar that was a bit in that style, but you can see really like how they implemented Client and what they're using it for and where they are now with their business and using Client. So very hands-on. We'll Natalie drop the registration link, so you've got that there. And then
Yeah,
if you
it's always good to see how other people are using the system. It gives it
yeah.
a lot of ideas usually. So yeah,
And if you're
thank you
curious,
for
you can also watch the webinar we did with InCloud.
in cloud.
It
Yeah.
was a couple of weeks ago, and it's in the recorded section that you can watch on demand as well in the same style. And then, as a reminder, our next regular product update webinar will be June 25th. It's the day after Saint Jean-Baptiste in Quebec, which is a very big holiday, so everybody's
I'm
gonna
gonna have another outfit for that one.
but we're doing it. So you can register and it's going to be version 51.7 and Touchy Agent demo and maybe more things. Who knows? All right. And again, if you can't register because it's summertime type of thing, still register. You can watch it on demand. And before we wrap up, I
We
just want
didn't put it there, but we the London people and people in Europe, please come to the
to.
World Tour June 18, correct, Rosalie?
Yeah, June 18. By now, I would have reached to most customers about it of people I know are based in the UK, but I know sometimes teams are bigger, wider, like kind of global, and they may have key people in the UK. So please reach out to me if that's the case and we can coordinate. We want to make sure we meet as many of our customers as possible. It's always nicer in person. So yeah, that's a good point. And as always, if you want to review us on G2 AppExchange, please take a few seconds to do so, minutes, and then continue sharing your feedback. I will send a follow-up email after today that's recapping key things. And there was a lot of links that we shared today. So if you didn't copy all of them, then you'll have it in the emails. If there's any other questions that you have, I invite you to just send us a quick email on support and maybe just put webinar in the subject line so we know it's something about the webinar. And then, yeah, someone is asking, I'll just let it run. Someone is asking where to see the previously recorded webinar. If you just go on our website to events section where you register to webinars and you just scroll down, they should be in the recorded webinar. If they're not, we should fix that.
Oh, they're gonna be there. Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right. And thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Yeah, and go Habs go.
Go Habs, go.
Enjoy everyone.